idea. You can even have your own roundtable, but I wouldn't advise it because this one, on my right, Ogie Ogerman, but always political left. And then, of course, we held over David Daggett from the previous segment with Coach Hayes. And Dr. Don Martin is with us. He's chairman of Forsyth County Commissioners. All right, guys. Earlier this month, a debate arose when Greensboro City Council selected a candidate to fill a vacant seat. The challenger said he was rejected because council discovered he hadn't voted in past city elections. Here's the question. Should voting in past election be required in order to run for local office? Ogie.
Yeah, I don't think it should be a requirement, but I would definitely take it into consideration as a voter. You know, it might negatively reflect.
What do you think, Dave?
I agree 100%. It shouldn't be an in or out requirement. However, it should be something voters should consider when they're voting.
Don?
I agree too, and I think the Greensboro City Council, they were selecting, so
Right.
it probably was a factor.
Right.
Instead of voters.
The Winston-Salem Forsyth County School Board will continue to reject and terminate new hires who test positive for THC, one of the compounds in marijuana. Some school districts have relaxed that drug rule because of a teacher shortage. Guys, should teachers be hired or retained even if they test positive for marijuana? Ogie.
I think they should get rid of that rule. Times have changed. It's no different from drinking. They don't disqualify you if you drink.
Right.
It's
David.
I'm going to defer to Dr. Martin on the first half of the question because he knows more than me. The second half of the question, though, embedded in it is, do you change your standards because it's hard to hire people? And the answer to that is absolutely no. You never sacrifice or compromise your standards. If that's the standard, keep it.
Don.
I think the issue with it is if it's against the law, just like drinking is legal, it's against the law, I think you say no. However, we're on the brink probably of having legalized medical assisted marijuana. That may change.
Could change it. All right. Until now, local schools set their own policy on cell phone use. We've talked about that in general before. But now the North Carolina Senate is proposing a law that would restrict cell phone use in classes and be a statewide regulation. Ogie, you okay with that?
Yeah, I've been saying it for years, you know, Jim, and I don't like cell phones in schools at all, period.
David?
I tend to like local decision making. However, this one, teachers, administrators have come under heat from parents. This kind of gives them cover, and oddly, I think I support it.
Don?
Well, at a local level, and I do believe in local control, basically that's the way we're set up. I think that if it's a problem in schools, a school board is capable of handling that. And if it's not a problem, then you don't have to worry about it.
All right. As part of Donald Trump's new push to get rid of DEI, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion programs, West Point, the military academy, has just banned special clubs, including the Society of Black Engineers, the Japanese Forum Club, the Latin Cultural Club, and others. Guys, are you okay with getting rid of clubs that cater to just one racial group? Ogie.
It's a sad day in America, Jim. You know, you can see the underlying reason for all of this is all white is all right.
Don't like it.
Hate it.
Okay.
Hate it.
Wait, so you're for cultural diversity at the college level and all that? Of course.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. All right, David.
I am completely against this. When I was in college, which is way, way, way before DEI issues ever came up, we had specialty clubs. Specialty clubs are good.
Yeah.
They get people together of like minds and help them encourage each other, support each other, and move forward.
All right, Dr. Don Martin.
Well, yeah, and this is a very minor issue in the big picture of what DEI stands for at the federal level, minor issue. And I do think that the right of association for things of interest on a club is okay. There's a whole nother issue going on with, I think, the big DEI picture.
All right. A Florida congresswoman is proposing to have Trump's face carved onto Mount Rushmore. Good idea or bad idea, Ogie?
Boy, there's some bad ideas floating around in this world. That might be the worst. That might be the worst idea ever.
Yeah. David Daggett, what do you think?
I hope Mount Rushmore doesn't just crumble to the ground.
It could if you start carving away at it. It's kind of fragile.
And this isn't a political statement. Mount Rushmore's Mount Rushmore.
Yes. You think it should be left alone?
Absolutely.
Yeah, regardless of who. Because they
Absolutely.
talked about wanting to put Reagan on there at one point.
No,
And I love
absolutely.
Ronald Reagan, but I didn't want him on there. Don.
Well, I think any such endeavor like that needs to be reviewed much later, after you've had the juries out and you've had a sense of history. What is the impact of what this individual contributed? And I think that goes for any kind of statue or carving or you name it.
All right. Well, we're going to shift gears here for the final question. This is a true story. A Turkish woman just set the world's record for crushing 5 watermelons with her thighs in under 1 minute. Guys, if you were single, would you be attracted to a woman who can crush a watermelon with her thighs, Ogie?
You know, there's almost something to be said for that in a way, but it would scare me to be with him. It would
Probably
scare me.
David, you're a wrestler. You're a wrestler.
Yeah, I was a wrestler. I mean, you've got to respect the strength that she has. She
Right.
might be good at other things that
Okay,
require
yeah, I
strength.
can understand
And
that.
that could be important.
Don Martin, would you be attracted to her?
Well, it depends. I don't know. I see her, talk to her. There's a lot of things. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. You know.
This is a diplomatic corps right here. We're going to send him to Washington. Well, that's all the time we have. Oh, except